Hey everyone, this is Brian with Westcott Woodworks. Today I'm going to be making a video showing you how to install crown molding as well as cut it. As you can see here, I've got a little piece cut off, a little sample. This could be kind of a scary task to some homeowners, but I'm going to try and show you and explain it in a really easy to understand way. So to get started, first thing I do is take your piece of crown molding here, and I've got a little square set out here. I'm going to take it and I'm going to put it so that this flat edge right here and this flat edge right here are both level with both of these sides here. So I'll get both of them on there. I realize that y'all can't see this exactly clearly on the screen, but this measures 1 5/8 inches. So when this piece of crown molding is installed, the ceiling will be up here, the wall will be down here. So this would be called the rise, this would be called the run. So in this case, the run is 1 5/8 inches. So what I've done is I went to the table saw and I ripped me a strip of plywood that's 1 5/8 inches wide. As you can see it here, cut it in half, and I'm going to use this to set up a guide on the miter saw. So let's go over there and check that out. Alright, I'm over here at the crosscut saw. I've got my 2 pieces of wood that are 1 5/8 inches. So set them in there, push this piece of scrap wood up against everything tight, and then clamp it down. Now to do this on this saw, this is just a standard crosscut saw, nothing really fancy, but I do have a nice crosscut blade on there. It's the Freud Ultimate Cutoff crosscut blade. I really like using it. It's got carbide tips, super sharp. It stays sharp for a long time, and then when I cut these things, it doesn't leave a bunch of tear out and little frilly pieces hanging off, because when you go to put this on, ideally you just want to add a little bit of caulk on your seams and then fill in the nail holes. You don't want to have a bunch of tear out stuff you got to deal with. So that's why I choose to use this saw blade on this saw for doing crown molding as well as many other things. So to go ahead and get started here, I'm going to go inside and take a measurement for my first cut. When I put this up, I'm going to have it come all the way down to the end here, and it's just going to have a butt joint. So I'm just going to cut this off flush here, put it straight down here, and for this first piece, I'm actually going to run it straight down here and have it butt up against this wall here flat as well. So that'll be my first piece we're going to go out there and cut. So I'll take a measurement and do that, and then come back in and we'll install it. Now if you look, I've got a little mark right here, a little mark right here, and then I didn't put one at the end, but I know it's right behind in here. That's where the studs are at in the wall. You want to nail into the stud. I've got a 16 gauge nailer here with 2-inch nails. Ideally, you want to nail into a part of the crown molding where it's going to be easy to fill the hole and sand it. So I'm going to go ahead and start down here, push this up good and tight, and just put one right in here. And keep working my way down. Alright, so they're all in there. Now the next piece that I'm going to cut is going to be kind of a tricky piece. The reason being, it's going to go up here like this. Let me tilt the camera so you can see here a little bit better. I'm going to turn it like this. I'm going to have to cut a 45 here, and then I'm going to have to cope this edge. So I'll show you how to do that here in a minute. And then if you follow it all the way here to the other end, let me get the lighting so it's not so bright so you can kind of see. Alright, so it's coming down here. We'll have the cope over here, come all the way down here. We're actually going to have an outside corner here. So I'm going to go ahead and take my measurements and then go outside and we'll show you how to make those cuts. So when you're cutting crown molding, the other thing you need to remember is that you cut everything upside down and backwards. Okay, so if I have this piece of crown molding, it's going to be coming into another piece of crown molding sitting at an angle kind of like this. It's going to actually cut out this top corner of the molding right in here. So as you can see, I put just a rough sketch here. That just helps me, because if you're like me, thinking upside down, backwards, side to side, frontward, you know, all these things mess with my head and I get a headache. And I don't want that. So I just put this line here to help me as I think through this. So I'm going to go upside down and backwards. Slip it in here. Hopefully I don't hit the tripod. It bouncing around too much. But alright, so I got this sitting in here. So I'm going to make my first cut, put my safety glasses on, and we're going to cut this angle right here. We're over here now at the table. We're going to use our coping saw and cope out this angle. Some people, they'll take a pencil and just sketch along this profile like I did here. Just kind of helps your eyes pick up what you need to be cutting out. And we're going to remove all of this material in here with our coping saw. Now, you can look in here and see I've got some little areas I'm going to touch up with sandpaper, if this will focus on there, that there's a little bit of wood left on this lip, so I'm just going to touch that up with some sandpaper, and then we'll make our cut for our outside corner. Just line it up as good as you can. Again, it's better to cut a little heavy than cut too short and mess up the piece. That looks like that'll be good right there. Alright, there you can see a little bit better angle of what I did. I had to add a few more nails because that ceiling, whoever put that ceiling on before we bought the house, I don't know when it was done, but it wasn't very square to the wall, so I had to kind of manipulate the crown molding up there to get it to fit better, so I had to put a few extra nails to hold in place. So next, what I'm going to do is measure this distance from this back wall to this corner point. We're going to put a 45 up on this corner and then do a butt joint there at the end. These are just little Collins miter clamps. You put these on and it just helps pinch that angle together good, nice and tight, so that it can have a chance for that glue to dry. So I'm going to put just a couple of these on there and measure and cut my next piece back in this dark area you can hardly see me pointing to. Alright, one thing I forgot to mention up here at this outside corner, again, where the saw blade really makes a difference is I don't have any tear out and a bunch of stuff there that I got to worry about and deal with. So I've got that next piece cut. Again, I cut a 45 and then coped this angle to slide in there and fit. So what I'm going to do is just get, again, some glue, just run it down this profile, push it up in there, and nail it in place. Alright, that piece is installed. Now my next one is going to go on this last wall here. Going to have a cope joint there, and it's just going to butt joint against the door frame over here. Here is the last piece of crown molding. You can see I've got the cope joint there, and I'll rotate the camera over here. I've got the butt joint at this end. I am going to go ahead and nail this last piece in, and then it'll be done. Just got to caulk some joints and some cracks, and it'll be ready for paint. Check out my other videos on YouTube. They're how-to videos, teach you how to do some cool things around your house and other places. And like my Facebook page. Thanks for watching.